beat me.
You know what we call that? We call that a web-slinging ass-kicking.
Imagine my excitement when I woke up this morning and realized that everything that happened yesterday was not a dream. It's really happening. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? ELT here. Welcome back to the network. Whether you're watching this video on the ELT network or over on my SpiderMan dedicated channel, Amazing Fantasy 15. That's right. If you haven't heard of it yet, I have dedicated the whole entire channel to nothing but Spider-Man content. Amazing Fantasy 15. Link below in the description. Be sure to subscribe to that channel and to subscribe to this channel. And you see right up over there, you can click the subscribe button, hit the like button, really helps me out, and ring-a-ding-ding-ding-ding-dong the bell, that way you get notifications. Hopefully you get notifications. YouTube is really bad at spreading out their videos. The algorithm is completely terrible. But I digress. Let's get off the bad and let's start talking about the good, and that is that yesterday during the PlayStation showcase for the PlayStation 5, we got a bunch of new games, and we saw a bunch of games that we already knew were in development. Everything looks really good. However, the two biggest reveals for me personally are this right over here, and that is that Insomniac Games, which I'm convinced that they're robots. They are robots. The people at Insomniac Games, they're not human. They are robots. You heard it here first. This is not a conspiracy theorist channel. They are robots. They have to be. But anyway, they have announced not one, but two new games. Both of them are from Marvel. We're getting a sequel to Marvel's Spider-Man and a Wolverine game. Holy shit. Anyway, this is from the PlayStation.blog website. Marvel's Spider-Man 2 and Marvel's Wolverine Revealed. This is our first details of the games. Obviously, we know that this game is scheduled to come out in 2023, as I said at the end of the trailer. We don't know when Wolverine's coming out. However, if you look deeper into this article, it looks like the game is going to be coming out much later than Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Maybe 2024, 2025, maybe. It's very early in development, as you'll see in a moment over here. But this article comes from Ryan Schneider over there. He is the head of franchise strategy and studio relations at Insomniac Games. Veteran developer Insomniac Games creating two new titles for the PlayStation 5 consoles. In my nearly 18 years of working at Insomniac Games, wow, it's really been that long, one thing I've always appreciated about the studio is how it truly values and fosters collaboration when we work together, and more importantly, when we listen to each other, the end result is always better. And here's the official reveal trailer for Marvel Spider-Man 2, which you are seeing right now. The article continues, that approach even applies when we work with those outside our studio, and it has been such a pleasure to collaborate with Marvel Games, learning from and sharing with these true believers as we created games such as Marvel Spider-Man and Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, both amazing games by the way. Has been a career highlight for many of us, and what's so exciting is that our collaboration isn't ending anytime soon. Great to hear, as today we revealed not one but two new Marvel titles coming from Insomniac Games, Marvel's Spider-Man 2 and Marvel's Wolverine. I am beyond excited about this. Obviously, we know that Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is going to be a masterpiece. Unless they really drop the ball with the story, which so far I have a lot of faith in Insomniac Games. I don't think they're going to drop the ball when it comes to the story. The first game was incredible. Miles Morales was incredible. This is probably going to be just right up there, if not even better than those other two games over here. And we got our first look. This screenshot looks absolutely incredible. We got Spidey over here with some Iron Spider arms coming out of his back over there. So this is a brand new advanced suit, by the way. If you look at it in the trailer, some of the white around the suit is different. The belt is different. They got rid of the red patches on the side of his legs over there. So this is kind of like a Advanced Suit 2.0 or something. Maybe just me throwing that out there. Maybe he gets this new Advanced Suit after he gets rid of the black suit. Maybe this part of the game takes place a little bit later than we thought, because we do get a reveal of Venom. There he is over here, looking absolutely incredible at the end of the trailer. And usually, unless we're talking about the Sony movies, usually Spider-Man gets the black suit first, Then we get Venom, so we may be getting this new advanced suit after he removes the black suit from the previous advanced suit and makes himself a nice new advanced suit 2.0. That's just my theory, throwing it out there. Will I be right? Will I be wrong? I guess we'll find out in 2023. However, let's start with one most of you probably could have guessed, Marvel Spider-Man 2. We're so thrilled to continue the journey of both Peter Parker and Miles Morales in their epic single-player adventure yet. So, keyword right here, single-player adventure. So, a lot of people speculated that there's going to be co-op in this game. So far from this, it says single-player, so I don't think there's going to be co-op. However, I do think there's going to be a way in which you switch in between both Spider-Man and Peter Parker during combat. Think similar to Batman Arkham Knight, when you had Batman and Nightwing, or Batman and Robin, and you were able to just switch between them and clear rooms of thugs out. Those were really enjoyable sections of that game, and I think that we're going to see something very similar to that in this game. So, no co-op for the people that were hoping for co-op, because if this article confirms anything, it's a single-player game. However, maybe they'll add co-op in the future. Maybe there's going to be a multiplayer mode that I made a video about way back before the first game even came out. Go check that video out. I would love a multiplayer Spider-Man game. But so far, this is going to be an epic single-player adventure exclusively to PlayStation 5 consoles in 2023. And then over here we get a little bit more about Marvel Spider-Man 2 and the actors who are returning and who are portraying new characters in the game. While pushing the capabilities of the console will be very exciting, we're equally pumped to craft all new stories for Peter and Miles in this sequel. Just as in our previous Spider-Man games, we not only want to tell a great superhero story, but also deliver a compelling human story, one full of heart and humor that dives deep into the people behind the mask. Much of the development team that brought you Marvel Spider-Man is returning to produce Marvel Spider-Man 2, including Brian Intihar as the creative director, Ryan Smith as the game director. Today's game footage trailer is merely just a glimpse at what is to come in terms of new abilities our heroes will acquire, suits they will wear. More on that some other time. Black suit. Can't wait to see that. And the villains that they will try to hunt them down. Keyword hunt. Kraven the Hunter, pretty much confirmed. That sounded just like his voice narrating at the beginning of the trailer. So we know we're getting Kraven the Hunter and Venom in Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Two great villains. Can't wait to face them. And speaking of villains, did you catch that final line at the end of the trailer? We're so happy to announce that Tony Todd of Candyman fame will be voicing the symbiote-fueled Venom in Marvel's Spider-Man 2. We're also delighted to welcome back Yuri Lowenthal and Nadji Jeter, who will reprise their roles as Peter and Miles respectively. We've been fortunate to work with so many incredible talented people in our Spider-Man games, and Tony has been such a wonderful addition to the cast. Alright, so we know Yuri Lowenthal back as Peter Parker, Nadji Jeter back as Miles Morales, and we are getting Tony Todd from the Candyman movies and a bunch of other things as the voice of Venom. Keyword is Venom. He's the voice of Venom. Now the big question is, who is underneath the Venom symbiote suit? Is this Harry Osborn that was teased at the end of Marvel's Spider-Man, the first one? Is this Eddie Brock? Are they going in the more classic route of the comic books? I know a lot of people want to see Eddie Brock as Venom. Me personally too. I do prefer Eddie Brock Venom than any other type of Venom. Or maybe that trailer that we got over there is a complete swerve, and this could actually be Kraven the Hunter with the Venom symbiote. Because in the trailer, Kraven's talking about who will give him his greatest fight, and then you hear Venom go, "Yes, we will." And all the other stuff that he does. Maybe that's just a swerve, and maybe actually Kraven the Hunter acquires the Venom symbiote suit in some way, shape, or form. Who knows? I want Eddie Brock but judging by the tease that we got at the end of Marvel's Spider-Man, I'm going to assume that this actually may be Harry Osborn inside the Venom symbiote suit. I guess we'll have to just wait and find out. Hopefully we'll get some more details on this game either later on this year, or probably we're going to get a lot of news about this game next year, so fingers crossed we actually figure out who's behind this Venom symbiote suit sooner rather than later. And then there's another little game that they announced that completely came out of left field. Did not see this coming. Nobody saw this coming, okay? Nobody saw this coming. But they are actually giving us a Wolverine game. Ladies and gentlemen, the last time we had a Wolverine game that was even considered remotely good was X-Men Origins Wolverine. And that game and movie came out in... how many years ago are we talking? 2007, 8, 9, something around that time. I don't even remember. That game was really good. Ever since then, it's kind of been nothing. And now here we are in 2021, and we are finally getting an announcement for a new Wolverine game. We got a new trailer. It's just a CGI trailer. No gameplay is shown. We don't see what Logan looks like. We just see his claws. It is what it is. And they go into more details about that in this article, saying here, now let's talk about the announcement you probably weren't expecting, Marvel's Wolverine. Back when we were working on Marvel's Spider-Man, there would be times where all of us, Insomniac, Sony Entertainment, and Marvel would brainstorm together about the future beyond the web-slinger, and even in those early discussions, Wolverine continually came up as the character we'd really be stoked to work on together. Fast forward a couple of years, and suddenly, standing in front of Sony Interactive Entertainment and Marvel, formally pitching a PlayStation 5 game starring the... let me just try to see if I can say this in one take. Adamantium Clawed Mutant. I think I got that right. Since you just saw the announced teaser, we can confirm that the pitch seemed to go pretty well. So many of the Insomniac team are such huge fans of the character, and one of the key elements that drew us to him is surprisingly not that different from Spider-Man. Both heroes really feel deeply compelled to defend who are less able to do so. As you know in the comics, Wolverine and Spider-Man, they work together a lot. There's a lot of comics with them together. We got Logan and Peter and everything. A lot of cool moments in the comics. So, do these take place in the same universe is my question. Fingers crossed that they actually do. As you see over here, we got a little tease over here. This license plate, HLK 181, teasing the Incredible Hulk number 181, where he actually fights Wolverine. So, are they hinting that we are going to get a Incredible Hulk boss battle in this game? That could be pretty cool. Which would be another Marvel character that Insomniac gets their hands on. That would be really cool to see. Marvel's Wolverine is a standalone game being directed by Brian Horton, creative director, and Cameron Christian, game director, who recently led the creative efforts on Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales. Like I said earlier, great game. A game we're extremely proud of at Insomniac. In the vein of our Spider-Man games, our goal here is to not only respect the DNA of what makes the character so popular, but also look for opportunities to make it feel fresh and truly reflect the Insomniac spirit. Even though Marvel's Wolverine is very early development, it says it right over there in black and white, well, now blue and white, early development, so I'm not expecting this game anytime soon. I'm leaning towards 2024 or 2025. From what I've seen, its emotional narrative and cutting-edge gameplay, see what I did there? I did see what you did there. The team is already creating something truly special. Now, out of both of these games that we got announced yesterday, I already know that Marvel Spider-Man 2 is going to be a great game, but this game right over here is what I'm actually more interested in seeing at this very moment. I want to know what this gameplay is going to be like. Is it going to be similar to X-Men Origins Wolverine, which is pretty much, I think everyone could say that that's the greatest Wolverine game ever made. Mostly because of the gameplay. So hopefully the gameplay is similar to X-Men Origins Wolverine. And also, too, just Insomniac Games making a Wolverine game. That's just something that came completely out of left field. You never would have saw that coming. So what is this game actually going to look like? How is it going to feel while playing? so many questions, and of course we do see a little bit of blood around the knuckles and everything, and the back of the bar in the trail looks a little banged up and destroyed. What's this game's rating going to be? I'm really hoping for an M rating for a Wolverine game, you know, that we could get a little bit more bloody and gore and guts and all that good stuff. But does Insomniac Games have it in them, is the question. Do they have it in them to give us a M-rated Wolverine game? I think they have it in us to give us a rated T for teen Wolverine game, but can they go to the extreme? Can they give us an M-rated Wolverine game? We'll have to wait and see. Fingers crossed. The article wraps up with, being able to build a new original universe with Spider-Man and now Wolverine is such an honor for so many of us at Insomnia Games. A huge thanks to our Sony Interactive Entertainment family for giving us the opportunity to develop these games, Marvel for trusting us with characters that mean so much to so many people, and of course our fans for continuing to believe in us. And we do believe in you very much. Insomnia Games has been on fire over the past few years. They are pretty much carrying the PlayStation 5 at this point, between the launch of the system having Miles Morales and a remaster of Spider-Man PS4. We just got Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart a couple months ago, and now they're announcing 2 new games in Marvel Spider-Man 2 and a brand new Wolverine game. Completely insane. This is clearly Sony's best acquisition thus far over the past few years. Insomniac Games is really climbing up that ladder, man. I mean, years ago, it was Naughty Dog that seemed like the top PlayStation developer, but I think that's changed to Insomniac Games at this point. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. I think Insomniac Games has surpassed Naughty Dog as the top PlayStation dog, if that makes sense. Yeah, it pretty much does. Anyway, that wraps up this video. Our first new details at Marvel Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine. I'm very excited. Are you excited? Let me all know in the comment section down below. Once again, be sure to like this video, click the subscribe button to the ELT Network and to Amazing Fantasy 15 if you want all the Spider-Man content right over there on that channel. And until next time, I am ELT signing out.